YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. This is Canadian Retro. I've got another pickups video for you here, which there's quite a bit of stuff just because I've been quite busy lately actually cleaning up a lot of stuff for the Waterloo video game swap, which is coming up at the end of March here on the 29th. Just a reminder, if you're not aware of it, I do have a vendor table that I'm going to be setting up there, and I got tons and tons of really good stuff, and I'm going to be pricing them very reasonably, I think. Well below market values kind of thing, but just enough to recoup some costs and stuff like that and really bring the savings to you guys. So, you know, if you see this video or see my videos or see me there or whatever, you know, drop by the table, you know, let me know that you're watching the channel and things like that, and I'm more than willing to chat to you about it and things like that, and always willing to make deals. Definitely. So also at the same time, you know, I am a collector as well, so please bring in like things you want to trade or whatever, and I might be able to you know, find things that you have there that I'd like to get my hands on, and we can work around that. So that being said, that's what I've been doing though lately. I've actually cleaned up a bunch of systems. I have taken the swap just like system wise, because I did show a video of like all the games I was bringing in, even though that video is a little bit old now. There's quite a few more games that I've not as many as I showed, but quite a few that I've added. I actually have a number of different systems that I've cleaned up, including 4 original Nintendo systems. I'm also bringing a couple of PlayStation 2 systems. One's like a silver slim version one. I'm also bringing 2 Super Nintendos. I think although one of them I'm going to be selling off, and I actually, in my cleaning up the other day, I actually learned how to do the whole power jack replacement thing with the soldering and all that, and my soldering skills are not that great to begin with. I do have a little bit of experience with it, not a whole lot, and I actually did my own soldering job on it, and it worked out and ended up working perfectly. So pretty good, because previously I picked up some Super Nintendo systems, and a couple of them actually weren't working. So of 4 systems that I had, actually only 2 of them were somewhat working, so I sort of pieced everything together. I had, like, basically I had 3, and 1 was definitely working and 2 of them weren't, so I took my parts machine and did that swap with it, and everything ended up working out anyway. So I don't want to go into like full details about it, but I'm pretty proud of myself because I actually figured out how to do it. It's not that difficult actually to do if you're worried about it, but it takes a little bit of finagling and stuff like that. But you can end up doing it pretty easily and get a system up and running and fix the power jack on if it's ever busted out. So I'm pretty happy with that I was able to do that. Needless to say, I do have a couple of pretty interesting items in this pickup video, so I'm going to get down to business on that right now. Starting off, I'll go, and I'm trying to remember the order of this because it's been so long since I've actually you know, done a pickup video or anything like that. So here we go. I do remember picking up these though the other day. Walked into the Goodwill, and it was actually 50% off day because it was the last Friday of the month, so this was just the other day actually. Walked in, found this title, thought, you know, pretty interesting. Red Dead Revolver for the original Xbox, and I like my original Xbox titles. Never really played any of these Red Dead games, and I know they have a pretty good following, but something I'm willing to check out anyways. Rockstar title for sure, and that's pretty cool. Totally complete, which is nice. And the great thing about this one is, and if I could just get the disc out of here, the disc is actually in like mint shape. I'm not going to bother pulling out of there. It's too much of a hassle and struggling in front of you to do that right now, but that's right there. So really good shape. Really happy to add this in the collection because I didn't have it already, so kind of a neat purchase, that's for sure. And that one there, it was 50% off, so this was $2.50, which I thought was a pretty killer deal. At the same time, I also picked up these 2 titles. The first one's Grand Theft Auto, the double pack, which has Grand Theft Auto, Vice City, and 3 in it. I already have this in my collection, but the contents of this one are like absolutely mint. And the box is a little bit crushed up right here, but otherwise it's in like pretty good shape. I just have to clean it up a little bit. It's kind of dusty, but pretty good nonetheless. I'm not going to go into this, but everything's in there. Like all the manuals are in there, all the games are in there, and they're in perfect shape. So that's really awesome right there. Whoever had that took really good care of it. For that one there, I paid $5 because they wanted 10 because it's 2 games, but half price, so $5 for that one. And then just so that you don't think I'm pulling a sleight of hand on you here, there's actually a second copy of that right there. Same thing. Again, though, the box a little bit crushed up again, but essentially the same shape. This one's a little more scratched up, I think, on the front, but it's not too bad. And the discs on it are absolutely mint. So really great find, I think, there to pick up 2 copies of that for 10. Like I said, I already have it in my collection though, so I'll probably end up bringing these to the swap, or, well, you know, getting the best possible condition for myself and then bringing the remainder to the swap kind of thing. So that's gonna be pretty cool right there. Moving on, I also walked into a Goodwill that until recently, they just keep, it's really funny, they just keep changing their percentage off policy. So it started out where it was like every day had a specific color, and that color was whatever color it was of the week, or no, sorry, of the day, and then you would get half price on those items. Then it was a color of the week kind of thing, and then they changed that where if you bought $20 or you bought $30 worth, you'd get 20 to, you'd spend 20, so you'd save $10, and that only lasted a few months, and now they're going to this one. So starting immediately, essentially, they're now just going on Fridays, it's 50% off everything in the store, and that's everything. So there's no other like 30% off deal like on different things or colored tag this and that. There's none of that. It's just, that's what it is. So I don't know what it is they're doing at their sort of headquarters, because I mean, this is not just like the stores I go to. This seems to me like it's sort of store wide, at least in my area for sure. So I don't understand what they're doing in their head office. They're just trying out different things or something, but you let me know if your Goodwills are doing the same thing in your areas. It's just getting kind of not frustrating, but it's just getting kind of ridiculous, because you're expecting one thing when you go in there, and then the next week all of a sudden they've changed their policy. So really kind of funny stuff going on there, but you know, whatever. I still was able to take advantage of the last sort of day, I guess, that had the spend 30, you get 20, so, or you spend 30, you pay 20. So first thing I'll show you here is just something that I had to throw in essentially to get up to the $30. So I wasn't really interested in anything else that really was sitting there. Is this here's Need for Speed Pro Street, and originally they wanted $8 for it, so this thing sat there forever. Nobody really wanted it. I didn't really want it at $8, but to top up to get to my 30, I just bought this one. It's totally complete though. I'll probably just end up trading off. I'm not really interested in playing car games on the DS, so that's probably going to end up going to the Waterloo swap with me, but still cool nonetheless. And obviously I didn't pay 8 for that because I would have gotten like 33 or whatever it is % off of that, but I'll put the original, or the actual price I paid for that up above. Moving on from there, this is something I was kind of interested in. It sort of bummed me out a little bit because when I walked in, there was another gentleman there that had a couple of Super Nintendo games in his hand, and basically he picked from, I guess there must have been 5 games there, he picked 2 of them out. I saw one was Mortal Kombat, but he saw me holding these other games, so he sort of took them and he was like hiding the labels on it. I did see the Mortal Kombat one because it was sort of on top, but then when he was paying for them and I was trying to like sort of see what he was getting there, he sort of like made sure that I couldn't see the labels. So whatever, I'm not really interested in that kind of thing, but I was just curious what he had there. But I know one of them was Mortal Kombat, which isn't a big deal, I already have in my collection. But I picked up the rest of these just because it's just good for the swap. Basically I already have all these games in my collection, although these ones are in good shape, so I'll have to check them against mine, make sure these aren't label upgrades. But the first one here is NHL 94. It's really hard, I'm finding, just to turn down Super Nintendo games. Now for all of these Super Nintendo games I paid $2.80, so you know, any Super Nintendo game for under $3 I'm probably going to pick it up anyways. NHL Hockey 93, and then finally NHL Hockey 95. So not a huge score of Super Nintendo games or anything like that, but $2.80 for each one of them is not a bad deal at all, and they're in pretty good shape, so pretty good deal, I think. That sort of moved me up there, so you know, $8 and then that $12, so that was my 20 right there. It wasn't really the things I was after, because this is one of the items which I thought was kind of strange, because that person who picked up the Super Nintendo games did not pick this thing out, and it's kind of cool. I was playing Earthbound with it just the other day because it was the Cartridge Club game of the month last month, so I was playing with this. I didn't actually finish that game. I tried to do a little bit on it. I didn't get very far. I'm still going to continue playing it. Actually, I'm really enjoying it. I just didn't have the time to put into it because I was cleaning everything and whatnot, like I was explaining before. But I played with this pad for a couple of sessions, and I really enjoyed using this controller. It definitely isn't like really designed for the Earthbound game necessarily, because it has all these like turbo buttons and stuff like that on it, but it's pretty cool. It's called the SN Pro Pad, And the only thing wrong with this one, actually, I didn't even notice it until now, is there's a slight crack down the back here, down it, just because it's like a hard plastic kind of case, so I guess that part might get damaged a little bit easier than a softer plastic, but it doesn't really affect any functioning of anything, so that's perfectly fine. And you know, the buttons are good, everything seems like pretty legit, and it's crystal clear sort of deal, so you can see like right into it. Kind of neat. And it has all the turbo buttons, so there's turbo buttons for everything. All the buttons have turbo buttons on there, so it's pretty neat. Fine right there if you're doing like, you know, a spaceship shooter or something like that. This would be a great controller for it, just because of all that you know, turbo options and stuff like that. So that one there they wanted $5 for, but of course, you know, with the discount, it's a pretty good deal, I thought. And then finally, and this is something that I'm definitely going to take this swap, or if someone out there is interested in this, it's more likely going to be up for trade, because I don't really have an interest in the system that this goes with, and I just don't have one. So to me, this is just something that, you know, is basically like trade fodder or something I could sell, which is a Ouya controller. I'm pretty surprised to find this. I thought Ouya was a fairly, you know, like newish system or something like that. It's almost like finding an Xbox One controller or something like that. Not, maybe Ouya is a little bit older than that, but still, kind of neat right there. Find that. Now, in order to put the batteries in these, I don't know, I had to figure this out, because it's kind of unconventional. You actually take the side of it off, the grip off, and then it's right in here. So cool nonetheless, and it didn't have any batteries in it. I haven't really tested it out yet, but it feels like a fairly solid controller. I don't really know a whole lot about Ouya stuff, to tell you the truth, but like I said, I know some people do have an Ouya out there, and this would be right up their alley to get a second controller for it, or a controller for it if theirs are broken or something like that. So a replacement controller for an Ouya. They originally wanted $5 for it, which was kind of interesting, because, you know, if that guy was looking for video games or whatever, he totally went right by this, and this is pretty decently priced, probably more than Mortal Kombat or anything like that. So kind of interesting. He left behind those two controllers that were sitting right next to the games, but you know, to each their own kind of thing, and I ended up scoring because of that, so kind of nice. Somewhere I dropped in at actually was a dollar store. I was going in there to buy like plastic bags and stuff like that to bag my systems that I'm bringing to the show and all that, and a bunch of other things for the show too as well, like stickers and whatnot. And I was just looking through, and I saw like their DVD video game kind of section. They actually have some video games there, nothing really special, but these two actually came together, and I already took the cellophane off it just because I wanted to check it out. But for the two of them, like combined, I paid $3, so $1.50 each. The first one here, which I'm not going to be keeping, is Dora Saves the Crystal Kingdom. So I didn't really want this. This one actually is not factory sealed, it was opened. But I did check the disc out already, and it's like brand new. So I don't think anybody actually played it. I don't know why why it was opened, but whatever, not a big deal. I'm not really planning on keeping that anyways. You know, if someone's going for a complete PlayStation 2 collection, I don't know if that would, well, obviously they would need this, but not something that's going to stay in my collection, that's for sure. And then the one that I was somewhat interested in, for $1.50, I thought I'd give it a shot, why not, is Scooby-Doo in the Spooky Swamp. And this one here is factory sealed, so that's pretty cool right there. I mean, it's definitely worth the $1.50 that I paid for it. I checked out some reviews and stuff like that. People have spoken a little bit highly about it, so I think this also came out on the Wii as well. So still pretty cool, something I want to check out, and I think the animation on it is pretty cool looking for sure. So I don't know if you guys can see that there, but looks like just like an action adventure game. I heard it was kind of easy, but still, you know, something cool to add into the collection, that's for sure. And you know, brand new is pretty cool too. So that was that part of it. There's still a lot of more stuff here coming, so hopefully you can stick with me. So starting off, I stopped in at a pawn shop and picked out 2 GameCube titles. It's the same pawn shop I go to quite frequently. Well, no, I wouldn't say frequently, it's just I go there once in a while to check out what they have and see if there's any deals or anything like that. It's a pretty good store in the sense that when you go in there, it's buy one game, get one free. So, I mean, they'll get like decent, you know, moderately decent titles in there. Like, I saw like, you know, Mario Kart 7 and stuff like that for the DS. I think it's 7 for the DS. 3DS or whatever. I saw that, and I saw another couple of really like high-end kind of franchises for the 3DS like games, and they're asking, you know, like 20 8, I think it was like 35 or something like that for each one, but you have to imagine that if you were to buy both of them, you'd end up paying 35 bucks for both of them. It's a really good deal. I'm just not looking to pay that kind of price for 3DS stuff, so I'm not really super hype about the system or anything like that, but just saying, like, that's a good deal if you were actually looking for games, that's for sure. But the ones I picked out actually are for the GameCube. First one here, I don't know a whole lot about. It's not really that valuable necessarily, but I didn't have it in the collection. It looks really cool. It's called Roadkill. Let me know if you've played this game before, because I'm just going basically off of the like screenshots and stuff like that, but it basically looks like you're playing Twisted Metal, but more like in an open world, but you can have it set up where you can do different missions or whatever. I don't know, it's hard to say, but it's pretty cool nonetheless, and I'm gonna check it out. I don't really know a whole lot about it. It's a midway title, so it might be pretty decent, that's for sure. And because they had a $9.95 price tag on their GameCube games, except for like really higher end ones, this one here ends up being, you know, like whatever it is, like $4.50 essentially. So pretty cool deal right there. And then the next one is TMNT, which I already have for the GameCube, but this one here is in really wonderful shape. So I'm pretty sure this is an upgrade for the one that I have. Like, that's pretty much mint, just has a fingerprint on it. So really good deal right there for $4.50. Really happy to you know, be able to upgrade things, and this is definitely an improvement for mine, and gives me another copy of a GameCube game I can take down to the swap with me. So that's really great. I'm sure it'll sell, and I'll get my money back for everything there. Alright, the next thing I wanted to show you here actually came from the Goodwill. Again, this was on the Friday, so it was like the 50% off of everything kind of day. So really cool find, I think. Games I never actually got into this franchise, which you're gonna laugh because it's like basically a signature franchise, I think, for the PlayStation 3. I never played any of them, and people like talk like crazy about them, saying how awesome they are and stuff like that, and I actually never touched them. So that's that. But the first one here is Uncharted 2. Among Thieves. Never played anything in the Uncharted series, and I know that's pretty sad being a PlayStation 3 owner, but just never got around to it. There's some kind of code in here for something. I'm sure it's been used because it is facing out as well, so I'm sure somebody actually was taking a look at it and using it. But there it is right there, and the discs on these are like really mint too, which is really good. Sort of like a theme of the day almost. Pretty cool find right there, that's for sure. So it was half price, so that was like $2.50. Also for $2.50 I picked up Drake's Deception, which is Uncharted 3. Again, like I said, never played Uncharted games before, so heard great things about them. So happy to finally get it for my collection, that's for sure. And again, like, perfect disc, just has a few fingerprints on it, probably my own fingerprints to tell you the truth. So that's pretty cool right there. And then I also got another copy of the same thing for $2.50. So wicked deal, that's for sure. Right there, and that one's also in mint shape as well. And then finally Tony Hawk's Underground for the GameCube, and this one here was, they charged me $3, which was half of that, so it was like $1.51 or something like that, because they always charge like $3.03 or $5.05. So that's that, and this disc is absolutely perfect too. I think I already have this in my collection, but if I don't, you know, it's going to be an upgrade, or I will add it in actually, just because I do like to collect GameCube titles, as you can probably see from the number of GameCube things I've picked up recently. Then moving on, I went into Thalese and picked up a couple of titles. The first one here is literally just like an upgrade for me because it's like really perfect. It's basically worth what I paid for it, but I love the series so much. It's like one of my favorite series, I think, and it's not even that popular or maybe even that great by other standards. I just love the humor in it. I like the gameplay of it, the weapon choice, and just like the absolute destruction of it. And it's Destroy All Humans for the original Xbox. And if you're going to play this game, this is the way to go, that's for sure, unless they've done a remake. I don't know about it, but pretty cool here. One Giant Step on Mankind, that's the subtitle of this one. Absolutely phenomenal series, so this is just an upgrade for me, basically. I'm pretty sure mine can't be in nearly as good condition as this one. This one's like near perfect, so really awesome right there. And I just wanted to get a really nice copy of it for my collection just because I love the series so much. So $5 for that one. And then something I didn't have in my Wii collection, same thing, they brought out a ton of games that day. Just really nothing there that was even worth the $5 they were asking for it, but this one was in there and I thought I'd give it a shot. I've heard people say good things about it. It's a Capcom title, and it's Zack and Wiki Quest for Barbora's Treasure. I think that's pronounced right, but pretty cool. Looks like an action platformer type of deal, so kind of fun. This one here also is complete, which is really sweet. And the disc on it is absolutely phenomenal, which is always a blessing because more often than not these days I'm finding a lot of scratch discs out there, so that's a really wicked find, I think. So yeah, for those two, that's sort of what I walked out of that store with that day, and you know, I thought I was pretty happy with that just because I got to upgrade that one really great game that I really enjoy. So that's that. And then what else happened? Oh, moving on, I walked into a Value Village, and this is what I found, which is kind of surprising because the Value Village there has been pretty dry and overpriced lately, and this is great actually, the deals I got on this. So first one here is Supercross Circuit for the original PlayStation. Love my original PlayStation titles, so this is something I don't know if I'll ever end up playing, but at least I'll put it in my collection and maybe I'll get around to it one day. But still, Josh from Game Hunters R Us I'm sure would enjoy a game like this just because he's into the bikes and whatnot. So that one there was $3, so I wasn't going to turn that down. Pretty cool find right there. And I also found something which I think I already have in my collection, just I don't have the front artwork for it, so I figured I would. And I really like the demos and stuff like that for the original PlayStation, just because my first experience with the original PlayStation, my brother got one around Christmas time way back in the day, and he didn't have any games for it. It just had the demo disc that came with it, like he got the system. So we were sitting there playing like the demo disc like all day long. It had a game which I would love to get in my collection. It had Intelligent Cube on that demo disc, and that's just something that I really loved, and I didn't even realize until later that it was going to become something so rare and valuable. But you know, it's like, I think it's still like a $50 or $60 game if my memory serves me correctly, which is why I've never been able to find a good deal on it. But just that demo of it, I played that like a lot. Essentially, we played that all Christmas break that time around. So I have a lot of fun memories of the demo disc because that was just my first, you know, first time I saw the PlayStation 1. And the graphical capabilities, like compared to the stuff at the time, I was just like, wow, there was a car racing game on it that looked absolutely phenomenal. And that's why I picked out this one here, because I really wanted to check out actually some of these on here, because there's Tomba 2 demo and stuff like that on that, which again is a really valuable game that I'll probably never run across unless I'm really, really lucky. So pretty cool right there. And that one there was $3, so that's kind of nice. And then finally the find that was sitting around these ones, but the find of the whole thing is Spyro Ripto's Rage. And Greatest Hits Edition, but I'm not too worried about it. This one here is in absolutely like mint condition, which is kind of a bummer that it's Greatest Hits, because I'm not like anti-Greatest Hits or anything like that, but if I can get the Black Label ones, I think they just look better. And unfortunately, my copy is Black Label, but it's a little bit scratched up. This one here is like absolutely mint, but I'll end up trading this one off and keeping my Black Label one. So that's pretty cool find right there for $3, that's for sure. I still got a lot more here, so sorry if this is taking a lot of your time. Hopefully you're watching this on like 1.5 speed or something like that to keep up with me. But here we go, this is something else I found. It's a GameStar, which you may not recognize this, and I wouldn't expect you to, but this is a Famiclone. Basically, it is a copy of a not a Super Famicom, a Famicom, you know, Japanese style Famicom, and basically it looks like a CD player, but it's not really. You open it up, and that's where the slot is for the Famicom cartridges and whatnot. I do like the power button for some reason. The clickiness to it's kind of fun, and it's pretty solidly built. It's not too bad at all, and I did test it out. It does work. This one here did not come with the power supply, but I do have actually a Famicom system which I don't think is working, but I have really like no way to gauge that, so I put the power supply for it on this and it worked perfectly fine. So that was pretty cool right there. It comes with these like two super cheapo controllers that, interestingly enough, I think that might be the same, might be not the same though, I'm not sure about that, as like something that you would find on a Commodore 64 type of connector. I'm not really sure about that, but there might be other controllers out there that I could, you know, swap these out for, because these are really fairly cheap. Like, they're so light, it's unbelievable. The cool thing about them though is they actually have built-in turbo buttons right here and here, and then this one, these are just like your standard ones, and then these two are your turbo ones. So that's kind of cool. It's just pretty cheap. I mean, they still work and they felt fine and everything when I was testing them out, but they came with 2 of those, so kind of neat. I'm just gonna sell the system off though. The only thing I was really after that came with this, and now I gotta find it here in the pile, is this right here, which I didn't know a lot about, but in retrospect I might not have bought it, because when I tested this game out, it literally only has like 7 games on it. It's the 9,999,999 and yeah, it has that many things in the menu, but it's basically just the same titles like repeated over and over and over again. If you don't know that about these pirate cards or whatever, that's basically what it is. I do like to collect pirate cards. So this one here I will hold on to just because I like to collect pirate cards, but I don't recommend this one. It's the BS6037. That's the name of this one. Don't bother with it. It doesn't have anything on there that you can't literally get like on the cheap big time. So what's in here though is there's a copy of the columns. I'm not sure if that's what they call it, and it's columns. They call it jewelry. But then there's a copy of Super Mario, even though on the front here it has Super Mario Sunshine, which is kind of funny. It has like Super Mario, which is like, but it's a hack of it because the mushroom's colored differently. It's a little bit different looking, but it plays exactly the same. It's just like they put like a hacked sort of coating of paint on it or something. It doesn't look any better or worse, it just looks different. It also has Duck Hunt, which I can't really play because I don't have that kind of television, but there's a few other things on there. There's like a tank game or something like that. It really isn't a whole lot on here though. There's only like 7 games, so nothing really like spectacular on it, but I got it just to check it out. And for all of that, so the system, the 2 controllers, and this game right here, I paid $10, which, you know, is a decent deal because I'll end up holding on to that. I don't really know what these things are worth. That one can't be worth much just because it's kind of, you know, nothing special. But I didn't know that when I picked it up. I had to bring it home to test it out to find out, that's for sure. And then I also picked up this at an EB Games, and it's a amiibo. I'm not going to go into detail on it. It's just the Chic amiibo. I'm not going to hold it up there too long. I'm sure you guys are sick of seeing amiibo. So that was there. I saw that and I was like, I haven't seen that one around that much. So went in and grabbed it. I don't know if it's rare because I don't really follow the whole rarity thing. I just got one that, you know, I think are cool looking or whatever, and I really like the look of that one. So I went for it. And then finally I'll get to today, and this is the last stuff that I ended up picking up recently. I know this is getting kind of long, I'm sorry about that, but here we go. So I walked into the Goodwill and got these 3 games. Pretty good finds, I think. First one's Star Wars Battlefront for the PlayStation 2. That one there is $4. And the disc on this one is a little bit scratched up, but that's what the resurfacer's for. So I thought it was a pretty good deal. I'll end up, you know, just getting a little bit of money back for that at the show. I'm going to take that. I already have this on the original Xbox, so I don't really need this on the PlayStation 2. And, you know, I'll just, you know, recoup some cash with that, basically. Here's something that I'm looking for the manual for, though, because it doesn't have it, is Steel Lancer Arena International. Right there. So pretty cool. I'd never seen this out in the wild before, so pretty happy to find it. It's a Konami title, and the disc on it's much better than the other one, so happy to add in the collection. Unfortunately, no manual in there, so it's incomplete, but that's the way it goes sometimes. So on the back, it looks to me like it's a Metal Combat type of game, so it looks kind of fun, like almost like a fighter, but with a mech, so kind of cool. Something I, you know, caught my interest anyways. I don't know if you guys can tell me how that game is. I've never played it. And then another game I haven't actually played, but seems like a pretty decent title, is Coliseum Road to Freedom for the PlayStation 2. And this one here, same sort of affliction as the last one. It has no manual, so I don't know why it was like no manual day at the Goodwill, but for some reason none of the PlayStation 2 games had manuals in them. There was a bunch of other ones, but I just left them behind. This one's in pretty decent shape, just needs a cleaning, and it'll be good to go. Otherwise the disc's like pretty much mint. So I don't know anything about this title, so if you guys have played this before, let me know. It seems like a pretty quality title though to add into the collection. This one here is made by, I don't know how to say it, Koei or something like that. Let me know though if you've played that, because that's something that I'm kind of interested in. Also swung by a Goodwill. I told you this is probably like 5 or 6 like days worth of stuff here, that's why there's so much. But I picked up this today, and it's Hulk for the GameCube. Love to pick up my GameCube titles. Basically paid what this thing's worth, but didn't have it in the collection, so it's kind of fun, and it's in really mint shape. So pretty awesome right there. I paid $5.05 for it, and disc on it's like absolutely perfect. So pretty good find, I think, for $5.05 for a pretty slow day. So kind of nice. Didn't even find this with the other games. Actually, it was sitting in a pile of shoes. So pretty cool. Took a second look around and actually found that. And the last thing I want to show you, I am super pumped about, and it's going to make this video a little bit longer to show you this, but I got something in the mail today from a Facebook, not a trade rather, something I bought off of a Facebook group. A person had this game, and I've been looking to complete this one because I found an empty case, and I'll clip to that right now. I found this, or well, in a second here, I found this really nice score of GameCube games a little while back at a Goodwill. Same one that I picked up Hulk from today, and this was one of the things that disappointed me about the whole lot that I picked up. I picked up like 5 really quality games, really great titles.
What did I tell you? 88 miles per hour!
The next thing is the most disappointing thing that happened today, unfortunately, and you'll see why in a second. It's Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time and the Master Quest of Ocarina of Time for the GameCube, and you probably know what's going to happen here. It's not in there. Such a bummer.
Look out!
And the game here, I'll pull it out of the package here. The person packaged it up really nicely. It is The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, like the Master Quest disc, so that's pretty cool right there. I already have the case and manual, like I said, I got that from that day, so this is going to feel really good right here. The manual I have and the case and everything's in great shape, so I'm going to take this disc, which is also in pretty decent shape. It's not too bad. It didn't sound like from the description that he said it was in like playable condition, like played and tested kind of thing. I thought maybe it was being like deceptive or something, like, and it was all scratched up to no end, but it's actually in like pretty beautiful shape. So this is gonna feel really good for me right now. I'm going to put that in there, and now I have that entirely complete, and I'm super happy about that. This also has me asking you guys what you think about that, because I also have, you know, the Ocarina of Time on N64. Should I just be getting rid of that and holding on to this? Because I don't need multiple copies of the same thing, and I'm not a huge N64 fan. Now I have the GameCube version. What do you guys think? If you're experts sort of in Ocarina of Time kind of thing, tell me, should I just hold on to this one? Because no matter what, I'm going to hold on to this one, but should I just be getting rid of that N64 one? You guys let me know. That's everything I have to show you today. I know it's a lot of stuff. Thanks again for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do feel free to thumbs up this video, comment down below, and I'll see you all later.